And don't force other kids to say publicly what they saw. Don't question the children involved in front of other kids. Don't talk to the kids involved together. You should speak to them separately, because that's safety. Because if they tattle on each other in front of each other, it's like it's worse, and they're not going to. And they said, don't make the kids involved apologize or try to patch up the relationships on the spot. I think that's a big one.
Yeah, they need time to think. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can't force an apology, right? My toddler threw a fit. Well, he's not a toddler anymore, is he? My preschooler threw a fit, and he threw a shoe in the car.
Oh, we have preschoolers.
I know, right? He threw a shoe in the car, and it bounced off the dash, and it hit his great-grandfather. And I was like, that was really ugly. You want something, and you got angry, and you threw your shoe, and you should apologize. And he's like, I'm not apologizing, but I want my tablet. And I was like, screw your tablet, because what your action was wrong. Right? And the kids know that their actions are wrong. But sometimes they need that time to think about, I probably should apologize because I was being a jerk. Right? But you can't force him. I could not have held him down and been like, apologize.
But you helped him through that moment, and you took it step by step, which was what was important.
That's the important part, right? Is that you're walking him through it, you're talking to him about it, because it's not going to be automatic. The kids that are doing the bullying rarely see what they're doing as wrong until it's pointed out and they think about it.
Right.
So, they said... no, go ahead.
I did have a story, if some of our listeners don't really have much bullying experience from their past, that one of the things that assisted me was I had this one young lady that was the same grade as me, and she always called me by the wrong name. She always called me Rachel. And that's not like your mainstream thought of bullying, right? But she was doing it intentionally. Mm-hmm. It was intentionally to be inconsiderate of you as a person by giving you a different name. Now, one day, it started escalating and she started saying other comments. I was physically handicapped as a child, so I was in and out of wheelchairs and or crutches, and I knew this person for a very long time. And one of the things that my dad told me was that you can always talk to them in that moment and say, you know what? I've got broad shoulders. If you need to carry some of your weight that's heavy on you, that's fine. I can handle it. And taking some of that power from the bully really helped me. And it helped this individual as well, because she started recognizing that other people saw that it was some of her insecurities that were coming out day to day.
And a lot of it, that's what it is, right? Is that they're projecting their insecurities onto somebody else. Whatever it is, doesn't matter.
And I was very young when that happened.
I don't know. I remember being quite the social butterfly, and, and I'm just cool and hanging out with people, and somebody'd start something, and the next thing you know, a rumor has been spread and people are trying to kick your ass, and you can't figure out why people are trying to kick your ass.
Yeah.
And you're like, hang on.
What happened?
To time out. I didn't do anything
I did have a few physical
I don't know what you think I did. I promise.
I did have a few physical fights, but I don't feel like they fit quite into the bullying fight, or the stereotypical bullying fight, like you're describing.
Yeah, I mean, I had that kid that stabbed my flower baby, and I beat the crap out of him, but that was mother's instinct. I was protecting my child. That's what I told the principal later. Mother instinct just kicked in. I had to protect my baby. That was going to be an A+ grade, and he stabbed my baby with a pencil.
Man, I always got talked to by the vice principal. You got the principal?
Oh, yeah. It was I
always got the vice principal when we got in fights.
It was bad. That boy could never live that down ever, ever again. But that was his form of bullying, right? He was trying to make himself look better to his friends, and so picking on me was a good choice. I'm still not very big. I haven't grown since 6th grade. I'm the same height since 6th grade. So, I'm a small target. So he thought. But he was wrong.
Well, I was never taught to start a fight, but I was taught how to defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So I was in several fights, but none of them I started. I just was a part of them. I don't think anyone won.
Well, that's important too, right? That's important too. They said that the time to get police or medical attention is when a weapon is involved, threats of serious physical injury, threats of hate-motivated violence like racism or homophobia, serious bodily harm, sexual abuse, or anyone is accused of an illegal act such as robbery or extortion, which is using force to get money, property, services, etc. So I feel like all of those are very good tips and advice for any adults out there that are like, well, what am I supposed to do? I literally just gave you a list of all the things you could do or don't do to help. Safety in numbers. So, I'm still liking this wine though.
It is good. It's growing on me. The first swig I took, I definitely was like, I don't know.
I really like it.
Like I liked the taste of the finish, but I really wasn't too big on that first sip. But it's growing.
I like the onion cheese. Like I'm gonna taste terrible. Like my breath is gonna be awful. Cranberry.
Perfect. Onion. Go up to your sweetie and go.
Be like, come give me some.
How
kisses.
you
Come
today?
Taste with me, honey, and he'll be like, oh hell no. It smells like them nasty ass onions.
He was messaging us in the group message this morning and was like adding "izzle" to the end of all of the words, and I was like, I'm actually impressed that I'm following along with this.
Yes, y'all were ridiculous this morning.
Like I completely understand what you're saying, and so then I started responding in it.
Yes. Yes, y'all were. I was like, oh my gosh. I finally got to read my text messages later, and I'm like, you two. Nuts. Just nuts. And you're egging him on. So that's what he needs.
That's the fun part.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, I guess that's going to wrap up today's episode. We hope you enjoyed this wine and motherhood adventure. Thank you for tuning in and turning up with us. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Mom's Guide to Wine, and that is the number 2. You can leave us a love note, episode suggestion, or just say hi.
What's up?
This is Eliza.
And this is Rosie.
And we'll be spilling with you soon.